Welcome, citizens. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you know, back in the day, I mean like 2 years ago, I used to produce Star Citizen videos. I followed it pretty closely after the 3.0 release. Last month or so, a lot of the original kind of crew that was following on Rawcritics prior to the split to this new gaming channel let me know that there's a new video format inside Star Citizen. It's a lot shorter form. It's not like half hour, 20 minutes. It's like little 10-minute segments. And I really should start checking these out, especially the last couple weeks, because it's starting to get into the areas that I originally was talking about in my Star Citizen videos. You know, the economy. How can I be different? How can I differentiate myself? You know, not just who has the biggest, baddest ship. You know, who can kill each other and stuff like that. Like, what else is Star Citizen going to be able to do for players like me, you know, people that might want to make money instead of kick the crap out of everybody, right? Finally just built a new rig so I can actually play Star Citizen. Barely any frame drops. It's beautiful. I was playing around a little bit the other day rather than kind of start current, and I used to do reaction videos for kind of around the verse for those of you that have been around that long. But again, it looks like the format's changed a little bit. And several of you recommended that I actually take a couple, you know, I go back a couple weeks because starting with Personal Space, which was released on September 5th. So that's where I'm actually going to start kind of play catch up. And I'll record all these. And I think part of the fun of recording these and watching these is gives me an opportunity to learn more from you guys, gives me an opportunity to ask questions, and anyone else who's watching might have the same questions. And who knows, maybe the back and forth will create some good conversation. So anyway, I'd like to start with, again, with Inside Star Citizen, Personal Space, which again dates back to September 5th. And as I took earlier today, when I kind of took a look at the channel and how much kind of content they've been releasing lately, you can really see that they've minimized, like they have, I'm assuming what is the recommendations were for Inside Star Citizen, so I'm assuming that's the around the verse type stuff. But there's Star Citizen Live where the devs get around talk. It looks like there's like just 3 or 4 different formats now. Like, that's all there is. So I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like the simplicity because it seemed like when it was around the verse and reverse to verse, it kind of got complicated a little bit. Or maybe what I'm looking for is the videos are stretched too thin. I'm really excited if what you guys are telling me is true. It really seems like the game's starting to come around a little bend here, and it's something I've been meaning to again get back into, especially since the reaction channel and the gaming channel are now separate. So let's do it. Let's take a look at starting with Personal Space. Let's go back and take a look and play catch up. Inside even has a simpler intro too. Simpler intro.
The simple, only what you take with you. As we approach the introduction of cave systems in the Star Citizen universe and the FPS mining and gameplay that goes with them, only what you take with you is at the heart of the new personal commodity inventory feature. Our first step towards a larger world.
Oh, the cave systems. I did read a little bit about. Oh, this is commodities.
Personal commodity inventory is the first step on the way to the full personal inventory. And what the personal commodity inventory does is it allows you to be able to pick up commodities after you've mined them and then actually put those commodities onto your armor or into your backpack. Now, obviously, how this differs from a regular personal inventory is that a personal inventory would normally be able to store items. So you'd be able to put small, you know, guns or magazines or other different items like a Big Benny's box and store them in your inventory. But the personal commodity inventory is just a specialized inventory that only stores commodities. Now, when we talk about commodities, you're talking about like FPS minables, which are obviously.
So it's an inventory specifically for minables or pickables, because I thought I saw some plants there. It's separate than the personal
releasing in
inventory
sync alongside the personal commodity inventory, or it'll be other pre-existing commodities that you can buy within Star Citizen right now. As a part of the functionality for the mining loop, what we want you to be able to do is be able to go down, mine some things or mine commodities, place them in your backpack, and then head back to your ship and actually empty your inventory into your cargo grid on your ship. So to allow you to do this, what we've been able to do is access your inventory via the personal inner thought menu. So the personal inner thought menu will be able to go into interact mode, select the pip, the interaction pip that will display, or you'll be able to use the associated hotkey. That will take you into your personal inventory. You'll be able to see all the items that you've collected, and you'll be able to do a few things from that menu. First, you'll be able to drop individual items, which will then drop them on the floor, but you'll also be able to select the Store All button. Now, the Store All functionality will basically store all of the things that are inside your backpack at that particular moment in time and store them in a cargo box at your feet. So you'll be able to load up your backpack.
Where the hell did the cargo box come from?
Ship, unload into a cargo box, and then when you go to the kiosk, you'll be able to sell those items as loot items directly from your ship, or you'll be able to access those items directly from your core if you have them already stored in there.
I am so lost on this inventory system.
That's
Sorry.
the first step. Obviously, later down the line, we'll hope to be actually introduce the item functionality as part of the iCache system, which will allow us to store.
Sorry, I gotta rewind this a little bit. Without playing it, I was genuinely confused here. Because you have your capacity. Oh, there's 10. What does that say? 10. Oh, that's just a waypoint. So capacity 41 out of 100%. I'm using 41%. But the personal inventory can only hold 8 things. But then I could just shove them into a cargo and carry them. Does that mean I'm taking my... Okay.
that you've collected, and you'll be able to do. That's the first step, and over and above commodities, but this is the first step in that direction.
The Harbinger and the Sentinel, 2 Vanguard variants with kick-ass names and devastating purposes. They're well on their way towards inclusion into the upcoming Alpha 3.7. Let's take a look now through their modular interiors and still progressing paint jobs.
So this is the Vanguard Sentinel. Right now the colour scheme on this is temporary. We're kind of experimenting just to see what we can do. The actual exterior of the Vanguard Sentinel...
They said that personal space was the commodities were a first step. Does that mean that...
The main thing that changes with the...
that's the only thing they're going to... They're working on the mining loop, I'm assuming. That's what they said, right? So we can only...
So the actual terminal... It's like a larger version.
We're only going to be we're only going to be able to use the personal inventory for minables right now.
Temporary displays, just for some movement and life within this
habitation. And once we don't, is it still going to have that slot system with 8 slots, or is it going to be?
This entire area is almost based around.
Or once it's not just commodities. That's really I'm really confused on that.
Displays, which are illuminated and you can draw on. And you can see through these, so I wanted to try and get one of those in there. And also it's kind of based around...
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was multiple layers on these guys. Can you see where I'm pointing? Yeah. It'd be cool if this was like double-sided, or you could see actual, like a parallax effect in here or something. There was multiple layers of these animations going on.
Some features
that'd be really cool.
Same as the Warden. You've got like a bathroom and a galley and some beds still. The main feature is this hacking station. So the difference between the Sentinel and the Harbinger, mainly visible on the interior. Here we have the new Harbinger torpedo room.
I'll tell you what, the models are a lot.
Of Vanguard Harbinger is being able to watch the torpedo.
The interior models of the ships are a hell of a lot better than when I left them off 2 years ago.
And the Sentinel and the Harbinger should prove quite fun variants of the
That's cool.
Vanguard.
You can see the missiles.
Still going to change about the Vanguard Harbinger is obviously where these torpedoes are going to get fired from. There'll be a hatch underneath the ship, so you can see a torpedo go from inside the ship to firing away.
That's cool.
The mechanism will be completely viewable. Hopefully you'll get as much fun from playing these things as I have from making them. So we look forward to showing the finished off paint schemes in the future.
Maybe we'll get jammed. You can manually load them in.
Spaceships is at the very heart of the Star Citizen experience, with work continuing on all aspects of performance and application, including a new feature coming online soon called Proximity Assist, which aims to make the maneuvering around and inside of larger objects just a little bit easier.
So in 3.6 we introduced hover mode, so I'm going to jump into the game and show you what we have been working on as an improvement to this. First of all, the intuitive and it wasn't really achieving what we wanted. So we've gone back to the drawing board, and what we wanted actually was softer, more believable, realistic flying. And so if I fly low to the ground and I sort of maneuver like this, you can almost immediately see how much slower the ship is. Whereas if I, accelerate up and fly away, then you sort of get the normal handling that we always had with the Gladius. And so this feature is called Proximity Assist. It's pretty much completed now. And the goal behind it is to dynamically manage the ship's accelerations, to keep the ship slow and a little bit more sort of believable motion when you're flying in atmosphere and low to the ground. So the goal of this
That'll help.
is to try and make the handling of the ship feel a little bit more believable and softer, and not as like this jerky kind of mess all over the place. This fits a lot better with the lore of the game. Proximity Assist is this assistive feature in the flight control.
Can't stop looking at the guy in the background.
And one thing we're going to try is
Sick
reducing
camo
the
one.
efficiency of the thrusters in atmosphere, so that you get weaker thrusters in atmosphere. We can get a little bit closer to like real aircraft flying, and that in combination with this Proximity Assist feature should really solve the problem that hover mode didn't adequately solve.
So what did we learn about this week? We learned that personal commodity inventory is the foundational tech that will make FPS mining and later player inventory possible. That the promise of the Vanguard line of ships is another step closer to its fuller realization. And that when it comes to landing our spacecraft, some of us can use all the help we can get. Talking about me. To our subscribers, our thanks for making this show and others like it possible. And to everyone in the Star Citizen community, be sure to tune into tomorrow's All About Development edition of Star Citizen Live. We'll be answering your questions about the development of the roadmap in general. Until next time.
So does Star Citizen Live, is it the live stream? They're recording the live stream. This is just like a pre-play.
The latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 4.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so is the live videos? I should check those out. They answer questions live, so it's probably the live stream, right? On Twitch or something. Okay, there was some interesting stuff in there, but I really want to focus on the inventories because that's ultimately what I care about. Maybe you guys can help me sort this out, and maybe it's the plans. Maybe I can look on Spectrum or the forums just to kind of read up on this. What am I trying to say? I feel like I should preface everything with, I want this game to succeed, right? Everything about this game, I've loved the direction it's headed, and I don't care honestly how long it takes. It's kind of fun going along for the ride. So the radial stuff isn't new, right? It's stuff coming on. I mean, it's a console technique, and a lot of PC games have used that, right? So that makes total sense. But I guess I don't understand. Why would it be limited? Why would it be percentage based? Here's two things. Why would it be percentage based if there's only 8 slots? And in stowing it, dropping it on the ground and stowing it, it puts it into a magical container, I guess. Unless that is your backpacking, right? No, it puts it into a container which you can carry, and then I get it. You can stow those, and it's almost like it gives the ship or whatever the console you're using, it gives access to that. It allows it to be traded and stuff. So I think I get that portion. I guess I'm just not getting the limitations on the commodities, unless that's not 8 different things. Okay, maybe this is what it is. I should probably go back and look at it. It's probably like different materials, right? And you can hold so much material. So maybe 100 units of gold or palladium, whatever, that equals like 21% of the 100% kilogram. So the 100% represents like a kilogram or some sort of weight metric, right? I'm assuming. But then I go back and look at it. I don't see any references to like the units. So if you look at the wheel, it's just things, right? It's just like, it looks like just one entity, and when you drop it on the ground, it emptied out, so it's one thing. And it's the same thing. Like, you can see the 2 different areas here. It's the same thing. Two plants, so to speak. So I'm not getting it. I guess I'm not getting it yet. You can hold 8 things. 8 commodities, I guess. Clearly I need help deciphering this. So if any guys have any insight into this, or if you guys are already playing around with this, those of you on Evocati or played around with 3.7, let me know, please. Really like to see how this kind of personal inventory works out, because he's right. This is the foundation for everything that I want to do with the game, economically or professionally. It'd be helpful to see what direction they're kind of going in. So, all right, cool. I'm excited. Lots to catch up, but it shouldn't take too long. So I'll probably by next week, hopefully I'll be back in line with the Inside Star Citizens real time with you guys. So I appreciate those of you. There's probably about 15 of you who were kind of pushing me to restart the Star Citizen videos. So thank you for that. It is something. Thank you for being patient. It is something I've been wanting to do again. I'm looking forward to see where Star Citizen's at. And I know CitizenCon's coming up in November, so I'm really excited to kind of see the presentation there. And I'm happy, although I haven't played a lot in the last year. I'm happy they've moved over to the quarterly release schedule. It gives people consistent things, features to mess around with and look forward to. So I've even gotten a couple friends in the past week to kind of sign up and check it out, because there are, now that they've committed to more to quicker releases, it's been an easier sell. So, but even so, I took time off too, right? So I mean, it's understandable. All right, guys. Again, if you can help me on pick apart this inventory system, I'll be doing some research after this too. But man, let's start a conversation below. If you're interested in dropping by the Discord channel, it's right here. Would love to start a conversation about Star Citizen. We have a couple Star Citizen players in there now, channel. So yeah, come hop on by. Would love to have a conversation with you. If any of you guys want to jump in the game together, maybe show me the ropes, kind of get me up to speed, more than welcome. Hit me up on Discord again for that. As always, you can see updates, new video releases for both channels, the Reaction and the Gaming channel, on Twitter, right here. And of course, if you're enjoying the content, leave a comment below. If you have any suggestions about what you'd like to see with the content, leave those below too. If you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, would be greatly appreciated. All right, citizens, I will see you at the next video. Be safe.